After Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea during the reign of King Herod, wise men came from the east to Jerusalem. "Where is the King of the Jews who has been born?" they asked. "We saw his star in the east, and we've come to worship him." When King Herod heard about it, he was very disturbed, and the whole of Jerusalem with him. Herod summoned all the chief priests and religious teachers of the people and asked them where the Messiah was supposed to be born. "Bethlehem in Judea," they told him, for that's what the prophet wrote. "Bethlehem in the land of Judea, you are certainly not the least important of Judah's leading cities, for a leader will come from you, who will be the shepherd for my people Israel." Then Herod called the wise men and met with them in private and found out from them exactly when the star appeared. He sent them to Bethlehem, telling them, "When you get there, search for the child. Once you find him, let me know, so that I can come and worship him too." After they had heard what the king had to say, they went on their way, and the star which they had seen in the east led them until it stopped right above the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they couldn't contain their happiness. They went into the house and saw the child with Mary his mother. They bowed and worshipped him. Then they opened their bags of treasure and presented him with gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Warned by a dream not to return to Herod, they left for their own country by a different route. When the day of Pentecost came, they were all meeting together in one place. Suddenly a noise came from heaven like a roaring wind that filled the whole house where they were staying. They saw what looked like separate tongue-shaped flames that settled on each of them. All of them were filled with the Holy Spirit and began to speak in different languages as the Spirit gave them the ability to do so. At that time, there were devout Jews from every nation on earth living in Jerusalem. When they heard this noise, a large crowd of them gathered. They were puzzled because everyone heard their own language being spoken. They were totally amazed, saying, "Look, these people who are speaking, aren't they all Galileans? So how is it that we can all hear them speaking in our own mother tongue?" Parthians, Medes, and Elamites, people from Mesopotamia, Judea and Cappadocia, Pontus and Asia, Phrygia and Pamphylia, from Egypt and the area of Libya around Cyrene, visitors from Rome, both Jews and converts, Cretans and Arabians. We hear them speaking in our own languages about all the great things God has done. They were all amazed and confused. "What does this mean?" they asked each other, but others jeered and said, "They've been drinking too much wine." A psalm of David concerning the time he had to flee from his son Absalom. "Lord, my enemies have become so many. So many are rebelling against me. So many are telling me, 'God can't save you.' But you, Lord, are a shield protecting me. You give me victory. You hold my head high. I cry out to the Lord for help, and he answers me from his holy mountain. I lie down to sleep, and in the morning I wake up because the Lord takes care of me. I'm not afraid of tens of thousands who surround me, people who are against me. Stand up for me, Lord. Save me, my God. Hit all my enemies on the cheek. Break the teeth of the wicked. Salvation belongs to you, Lord. May you be a blessing to your people. My son, don't follow their ways. Don't go in that direction with them, for they rush to do evil. They hurry to commit violence and murder. There's no point in trying to lure birds into a net when they can see it. However, these evil people hide, ready to kill others, but they themselves are the victims. They're only ambushing themselves. This is what happens to you if you try to become rich through crime. It kills you. This is the record of Adam's descendants. When God created human beings, he made them to be like him. He created them male and female and blessed them. On the day he created them, he called them human. When Adam was 130, he had a son who was like him, made in his image, and he named him Seth. Adam lived another 800 years after Seth was born and had other sons and daughters. Adam lived a total of 930 years, and then he died. When Seth was 105, he had Enosh. Seth lived another 807 years after Enosh was born and had other sons and daughters. Seth lived a total of 912 years, and then he died. When Enosh was 90, he had Kenan. Enosh lived another 815 years after Kenan was born and had other sons and daughters. Enosh lived a total of 905 years, and then he died. When Kenan was 70, he had Mahalalel. Kenan lived another 840 years after Mahalalel was born and had other sons and daughters. Kenan lived a total of 910 years, and then he died. When Mahalalel was 65, he had Jared. After Jared was born, Mahalalel lived another 830 years and had other sons and daughters. Mahalalel lived a total of 895 years, and then he died. When Jared was 162, he had Enoch. After Enoch was born, Jared lived 800 years and had other sons and daughters. Jared lived a total of 962 years, and then he died. When Enoch was 65, he had Methuselah. He had a close relationship with God. After Methuselah was born, Enoch lived another 300 years and had other sons and daughters. Enoch lived a total of 365 years. Enoch had such a close relationship with God that he didn't die. He just wasn't there anymore because God took him. When Methuselah was 187, he had Lamech. After Lamech was born, Methuselah lived another 782 years and had other sons and daughters. Methuselah lived a total of 969 years, and then he died. When Lamech was 182, he had a son. He named him Noah, with the explanation, "He will provide relief for us from all the hard manual labor we need to do in cultivating the ground the Lord has cursed." After Noah was born, Lamech lived another 595 years and had other sons and daughters. Lamech lived a total of 777 years, and then he died. Noah was 500 before he had Shem, Ham, and Japheth. People started to increase in number and spread out across the earth. Daughters were born to them, and the sons of God saw that these women were beautiful, and they took whichever ones they wanted. Then the Lord said, "My life-giving spirit will not remain in these people forever, because they are only mortal. The time they have left will be 120 years." There were giants on earth in those days and also later on. They were born after the sons of God slept with the daughters of these people. Their sons became the great warriors and famous men of ancient times. The Lord saw how terribly evil people on earth had become. Every single thought in their minds was evil all the time. The Lord was sorry he'd made human beings to live on the earth. It made him very sad to think about it. So the Lord said, "I'm going to wipe out these people I created from the earth, and not only them, but also the animals, the creatures that run along the ground, and the birds, because I'm sorry I made them." But the Lord was pleased with Noah. This is the story of Noah and his family. Noah was a man of integrity, living a moral life among the people of his time. He had a close relationship with God. Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. God saw how corrupt the whole world had become, full of violent and lawless people. God recognized that the corruption in the world was due to everyone on earth living corrupt lives. So God told Noah, "I have decided to put an end to all people on earth because they are all violent and lawless. I myself am going to destroy all of them, along with the earth. Build an ark out of cypress wood. Make rooms inside the ark and coat it with tar both inside and out. This is how to build it. The ark is to measure 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. Make a roof for the ark, leaving a cubit-wide opening between the roof and the top of the sides. Put a door in the side of the ark and construct 3 decks inside. I myself am going to flood the earth with water that will destroy everything that breathes. Every living thing everywhere on earth will die. But I will keep my agreement with you. You are to go into the ark, taking with you your wife and your sons and their wives. Take a pair, male and female, of every kind of animal into the ark and make sure you keep them alive. The same applies to every kind of bird, livestock, and the creatures that run along the ground. A pair of every kind will come to you, so they can be kept alive. Take all kinds of food with you too. Store it so you and the animals will have enough to eat." Noah did exactly what God ordered him to do.